To complete your midwifery practice experiences, you can go into Bachelor of Midwifery, or alternatively, you can use the hamburger section up here, and you can go down to the relevant section that you're looking for, which is down the bottom here, so CoCE's episodes of care. Okay, so I'm going to go in this way. This is my preferred way. And I can see them clearly down here. So we're going to start with CoCEs. So CoCEs, first of all, you have some instructions on how to complete the forms, noting that we have two ways of our participant consent and our notification of facility, in that these can be done online and emailed, or alternatively they can have the form printed off. The person can have a hand copy made for them, but we will still need to email. So how to do that, you will see in here, participant consent, we're going to do a complete new. Option 1, online. Option 2 is down here at the bottom, download the consent form, and then once it can be finalized, we can upload it here, and then we're putting the woman's address in here. In the event that the woman doesn't want her email address inputted here, please reach out to the MPE team. We're not expecting this to be an issue, but if it is an ongoing issue, we will need to consider a workaround. In the event that you cannot email it to because they haven't allowed you to do that, you can save it and close as draft. You will see here that there's information here without a red asterisk. A red asterisk means that it's mandatory. If there's none there, then it means it's not mandatory. However, it is expected that you provide sufficient information regarding the woman that we can clearly identify her. So a minimum of 2, a name and a phone number, or an address, one or the other, the estimated due date, and all the other things. Then we come to this thing called the CoCE case number. This is here because we need to ensure that the privacy of the woman is protected at all times. So this section of the consent is not accessible to anyone but yourself and the academic team. Your clinical assessor that has access to your dashboard is not able to see this consent. For that reason, we need to ensure that when we do start linking information about this woman, that we do it in such a way that we know which person's which. So the idea is that we are putting our CoCE case number in here. So your first one would, CoCE person that you recruit would be number 1, and so on and so on. I think I'm up to something like 6 in some of these. So I'm just going to put 6 in there. I would have completed all this information. And we need to put in due date. This is the woman that's signing here and acknowledging, so make sure that she has the opportunity to read this information, and then she will save. Alternatively, as I said, you would download and upload, and then you would put the woman's email address in here. I'm just going to put mine so that it has one, otherwise it won't submit. You can see here it won't submit at all because it's got that little red asterisk there. So then I submit that form. Yes, I do want to confirm. And then I can see there that today I have submitted a form, okay? And then I need to also notify the facility. Again, the facility works on the same principle, that it can be done online or it can be downloaded and uploaded. Regardless of which way that you wish to complete that, you do need the email or contact for the person that you're submitting it to. So you may not be able to do that immediately at the time. In that situation, you would then do the complete new, do whichever option you're going to do, and then save and close until you do that. I'm not going to complete this form, so I'm just going to click delete, and therefore it won't store in my system. Importantly, if you have recruited a woman who also is working with a private practicing midwife, you do need to notify us at the university. So you do need to complete this section here, and this is only an online form, and you will need to email to the mpe@jcu.edu.au email account. The reason for that is we need to check and make sure there's a student placement agreement in place. Please do not do any work with this woman until this has been confirmed. All right, moving back to our program, that's our CoCE consent and notification. And as I said, that's restricted from others' access. This then allows us the opportunity to complete the rest of our information and is visible to the clinical assessor with any personal information. So in here, whenever we have our woman, so we've only got one woman already in our case, and we've already got information about her here, you can see here. Okay, so our next case we're going to start. I've just recruited a new woman. So I'd said that was 6. It probably should have been 2, but I've said it's 6. So I'm going to put 6 in there. And then I'm going to put any information that I want in here, making sure I don't have any personal identifying information. So usually our G's and P's and those sort of things. So G1, P0, EDC under the 10th, 26. History, GDM. There we go. And we're going to submit. Agree, yes, we're going to submit. And then you can see there today I have created a new person's case thing. Now every time I complete an episode of care or anything like that, I can add it to this woman's case and it will keep our record. So this is where we will link our 4 antenatal, our 2 postnatal birth experience. So to do that, we would normally have completed our episode of care already. So that would make life easier, but otherwise we can come back later and do it. And then we would actually go in here and we'd find the information that we need. So I want an antenatal booking in because that was probably the first thing I did for this woman. Oh, I haven't completed it. I'll have to complete it. But I do know I did an antenatal care visit. So I'm going to put that one in there for the just double checking that it's the right woman and the right time. So we're going to click on that there. And then that's added. This is what us as academics will be looking at to see whether you've completed your requirements. So you're going to link all these forms here. All right, so we've done that. Now, along with any of your CoCEs, you're aware that you must do ongoing reflection. Now, this doesn't have to be every single visit, but it has to be well recognised throughout the CoCE that you have done reflection. So you will complete this and you can link these in as well. The other area or times that you will use this reflection is in situations where you have not been able to attend either the birth because it's you've been away, or alternatively it's a postnatal visit and it's ended up being a phone consult or something like that. You can put information regarding the reflection component in here and that will cover that response. And then you're going to link that back to the woman. Once you have completed and finalised your CoCE, so you've got your 4 antenatal, your birth and your postnatal experiences, whether that being in person or you've done the reflection, you can then complete a notification that will send to the academic team for us to review and ensure that you've met the requirements. This will allow for much more real-time, in-time marking and support to you in the event that for whatever reason your CoCE may not be supported. So what you need to do is agree that you've met the minimum requirements. Now you can see here that there's a no section, but if you do put no, then we're immediately going to reject it. So you need to have completed these things. So you're going to need to meet the minimum requirements, including the student reflections. Really importantly, a reminder that you need to have ended your continuity of care experience with the woman, had a discussion about it, and that you have given them the opportunity to complete the survey. Now, obviously, if they don't complete it themselves, that is onus on them, but it is your responsibility as the student who's worked with this woman to give them access to it. You then date and sign that you have completed it, and down here you'll say enter into this email address. That is so that it gets sent to us for notification. Now, you probably have asked the question previously, but for your information, the reason that it's set up like this is My Progress doesn't have the capacity just to immediately submit an email, so this is a workaround for that. Hopefully future iterations may improve that. I'm not going to complete today, so I'm going to delete.